Alright, you little pog champs, let's talk about some gosh damn brew. And I know you incels probably don't make your own drinks, so let's talk about homebrew. My own homebrew. My D&D homebrew. Because I don't make my own drinks either. Regardless, I've talked about some higher level meanie faces, but I haven't addressed lower level. Basically, lower than like level 8. Of course, in retrospect, you could very well use what I'll show you at higher levels, just with variance in environment. I've realized that as a DM, I like to make combat interesting, and require thought and creativity, and as a result of that, I can only make my party fight so many goblins before my brain goes. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with goblins, but they're too intelligent to just kill, so every single time I send my players to kill them, they always, without fail, turn one into a companion. And companions are fine and all for the player, even during some campaigns, but dude, just because you're a druid does not mean you befriend everything. But I digress. I love my druids, and many a laugh has stemmed from companions. All I'm saying is that flavor is good. A little bit of salt goes a long way, and oh boy, will this sprinkle some salt in your players. If they don't use their mega gamer brains to fight these fellas, you might actually be looking at a TPK. And I don't want to say I'm specifically a sadistic DM, I like seeing player characters live out their stories. But I am saying that realistically, only a small percentage of adventurers ever make it far before the poor saps get godded by a demon. You catch my drift. So here's my thoughts. You got a party that relies way too much on brawn? Counter it. A party that uses too much magic? Counter it. We need more anti-magic forces in the world because some people seem to think that magic fixes everything. And I'm here to prove them basically right. But also, I'm here to prove that non-magic users have a place in the world, and I plan on taking that rug and just absolutely shredding it underneath their feet. No one has a place in the world. This is my world. I will ruin your day with puzzles I found on a website for toddlers and enemies that bully you. And so, with all that said, meet Debilis and Tacitum. Debilis and Tacitum are two sides of the same devious coin. Created by the demon lord Fraz Urblu as a cruel trick against a group of cultists who wrongly believed he would grant them infinite strength and magical power so they could rule over the material plane, Debilis and Tacitum are a type of demon that he created, both only 1.5 feet tall, give or take. Debilis takes the form of a floating 2-foot wide sphere with a wide, animalistic mouth, lined with sharp teeth, and making up almost 180 degrees of Debilis' sphere is the mouth. Constantly slobbering over everything, thanks to a foot of wide purple tongue that's always hanging out over its teeth. 6 3-foot-long arms protrude out of Debilis' frame, 3 on each side of the demon. The sets of arms connected with fleshy membrane to make it 2 wings that allow Debilis flight. Let's just jump right into the stats. Debilis is a small fiend, chaotic evil. They have an armor class of 14, natural armor. They have 3d8 or 20 average hit points. They have no walking speed, but a flying speed of 40 feet. Debilis has 12 strength, a +1 bonus, 16 dexterity, a +3 bonus, 13 constitution, a +1 bonus, 3 intelligence, a -4 detriment, 6 wisdom, a -2 detriment, and 6 charisma, a -2 detriment. Debilis has a +5 bonus to dexterity saving throws and +3 to constitution saving throws. They have a +3 to intimidation, +2 to athletics checks, and +3 to acrobatics. It has blind sight within 60 feet and a passive perception of 12. It speaks the abyssal language and has a challenge rating of 1, valuing them at 200 experience a pop. Debilis can disengage as a bonus action. The first of Debilis' actions is Bite, a melee weapon attack with a +4 to hit in a range of 5 feet, 1 target. On hit, the attack deals 1d6 +2 or 6 average piercing damage, and the target must then roll a DC 14 Constitution save or have their strength stolen from them by 2 points. For every 2 points of strength that Debilis steals, add an extra d4 of attack damage to its bite roll. The target's strength will be restored after 30 minutes has passed, or Debilis is killed. Its second action is Spit. Spit is a ranged weapon attack with a +3 to hit and a range of up to 60 feet. On hit, Spit deals 2d4 +3, or 7 average necrotic damage. Every time a target is hit with spit, they must pass a DC 12 Constitution save or suffer 1 point of exhaustion. This effect can stack up to 3 points of exhaustion. Killing Debilis removes 1d4 points of exhaustion immediately. How's that for a monster? I bet most of the DMs out there are a big fan. The rest of you forget how useful a DM screen is. Wink wink, am I right? However, make haste! We still have another demon to describe, and yet we're devastated with dismal durations for dementing Dungeon Master Demines! And so, on to Tacitum. Tacitum is lacking solid form, instead existing as a constantly shifting mass of eyes. It's not uncommon for Tacitum to cling to random furniture, buildings, and flora to scare passers-by, taking great pleasure in instilling fear and dread and silence on its poor victims, passively indulging in its target's life force with naught but a glare. This shivering nightmare travels through teleportation of all things, but we'll address that later. Now for the stats. Tacitum is a small fiend, chaotic evil. They have an armor class of 12, natural armor. They have 3d12 plus 2, or 26 hit points. They have no walking speed, but can teleport up to 60 feet in any direction they can see. Tacitum has 1 strength, a -4 detriment, 6 dexterity, a -2 detriment, 14 constitution, a +2 bonus, 18 intelligence, a +4 bonus, 6 wisdom, a -2 detriment, and 6 charisma, a -2 detriment. Tacitum has a +5 bonus to intelligence saving throws, and +4 to constitution saving throws. They have +5 to intimidation, +9 to perception checks, and +3 to investigation. It has a passive perception of 17. It speaks no languages, but can telepathically communicate. And it has a challenge rating of 1, valuing them once again at 200 XP each. Tacitum's first action is Glare, a ranged spell with a +3 to hit and a range of 40 feet, 1 target. On hit, the attack deals 1d8 plus 2 or 6 average damage. The target must also pass a DC 13 Constitution save or be silenced until the end of their next turn. Their last action is Teach Madness. Tacitum focuses every eye on a single target in a cold, dark stare. The target must pass a DC 14 Wisdom save or be filled with unending knowledge of primordial things. This knowledge causes madness and fear in the target. The spell ends if the target rolls a DC 14 Wisdom save at the start of their turn, or the Tacitum loses concentration. For the next 1d4 turns, the target suffers disadvantage on all attack rolls and intelligence or wisdom saves. Well, my fellow gamers, are you sadistically pleased with what I have offered? I would hope so. I also have not playtested this homebrew, even a little bit, so if it's unbalanced, then too bad, loser. Strong brew makes for a strong body, and I will brew them strong enough to get you white girl wasted, dancing in the club, not even worrying about boys. Drink responsibly, my friends.